First of all, regarding the security of the Polish state. As you know, very aggressive Russian-Belarusian maneuvers on the territory of Belarus, very close to the Polish border, are starting on Friday. This has various consequences. Among them, the answer is also the maneuvers on our side, the Polish army and allied forces, but in an obvious way. These types of maneuvers, we say that they are aggressive from the Russian-Belarusian side. Their goal is, among others, the famous Suwalski breakthrough. That is the goal, in the sense of simulation of actions. For now, simulation of actions. We are also dealing with an increasing number of various provocations from Russia and Belarus, both on the territory of the country, as well as, for example, the recent arrest of a Polish citizen, a Jesuit, on the territory of Belarus. This means very aggressive provocations. Therefore, due to the security of the state, we will close the border with Belarus, including railway crossings, in connection with the maneuvers of the West, on Thursday at midnight, from Thursday to Friday. Resorts, which, one way or another, this decision will concern, are obliged to present precise reports on the consequences of this decision. We will also fix this mess that was caused by the votes of Mr. President Nawrocki. This concerns the Ukrainian law, but above all, the issue of freezing energy prices. Yes, we will be witnesses and participants of this very sad spectacle, which is the political voting of obvious and important laws in terms of people's interests. We will take care of it, and we will, as I promised myself, and I can promise you, we will not be the participants of this, sometimes these unnecessary political reserves, but we will certainly not be victims. Because I will not allow people to be victims of the fact that someone has an idea for such a ruling of the presidential office, which is to rely on blocking the work of the government, as it was in the case of freezing energy prices. Therefore, today we will take another version and we will not let it go, so that the freezing of energy prices becomes a fact. It also concerns wind turbines. You remember, I don't have to go into more detail, or the Ukrainian problem in connection with the vote of Mr. President. We will present a project in which 800+ will be a license for Ukrainians who work or are forced out of work. 800+ will also be received by those who take care of the disabled who use maternity leave, i.e. in a situation that makes it impossible to get a job. But in addition, it will be necessary to work and pay taxes to be able to use 800+. If you are a foreigner, including a Ukrainian, we will exchange Ukrainians on a scale, on the number of those interested in this support of the state. I would like to ask everyone in Poland, everyone without exception, to control the obvious need for no one to use the Polish state, regardless of nationality. So it would be good if other nationalities in the Polish state were better than Poles. And this is obvious, and we will monitor it. But to the greatest extent, it cannot be an excuse to attack Ukrainians in any way. And we must remember that our support for Ukraine is related to our national interest, to our security, and Ukraine deserves constant, full mobilization of the entire West, including in Poland in the war with Russia. And nothing will change here. On the contrary, we will very consistently strengthen our support for Ukraine in its war with Russia.